tribal consultation is a key part of the National Historic Preservation Act of 1966. It says that when a federal agency has an undertaking, is going to build a reservoir, or in our case, highways or airports or new rail facilities, they have to consult with federally recognized tribes that claim ancestry to the area in which the project is located. So then that process has several steps to it. So you notify the tribes and other consulting parties about the project, and you're asking them if they want to be a consulting party. And if they do, then they continue through the process of helping you identify any sites that may be of significance to them. And then when we find archaeological sites, our steps called identify the resources, then assess the impacts to the resources, and then if there are adverse effects to the cultural resources, to the archaeological sites, then you do resolve those effects by entering into another kind of agreement, a programmatic agreement to mitigate those adverse effects. But those are the steps to the process. Any federally recognized tribe could claim ancestry to any part of Illinois, and so there were other tribes that we hadn't been consulting with that were interested. So in 2008 and 2009, the Federal Highway Administration and the Illinois State Archaeological Survey and the Illinois Department of Transportation, along with the State Historic Preservation Office in Illinois, and the Illinois State Museum, all those state agencies had these workshops and met with tribes, sent out the word, so all tribes that were interested in Illinois, for them to come and to really just meet, get to know each other, and figure out how we would best consult on the National Historic Preservation Act through those steps of notification, identification, assessing effects, and then resolving effects. So those steps in the National Historic Preservation Act. So then we met, we had these two workshops, and then we developed a memorandum of understanding, an MOU, of how we would implement those agreed upon steps. So under the National Historic Preservation Act, you're always supposed to avoid or minimize impacts. So we try to do that, and if we can't, then we follow the provisions of the state law, which is doing these notifications and then having state certified skeletal analysts supervise the excavation, documentation, and removal. Then those remains, when they're all been analyzed and a report is done, go to the Illinois State Museum. Then tribal groups can have a claim to those remains once they become part of the Illinois State Museum's collection.
This has been a production of the Illinois State Archaeological Survey.